cop's like, nah, sorry. She eventually got out of her car, tore the police tape down, and then slowly started driving forward, even though the cop is standing in front of her car.
Smart.
There's chest cam footage from the whole thing. I have an audio clip here. This is a little bit of that.
I apologize for the inconvenience.
Oh, I gotta go to work. What do you want me to do? Like, I have to go to work.
You cannot get out. Stop your car. Stop. Stop.
Excuse me, y'all.
And there's a lady running down the street in a BMW. Stop. Get out of the car.
So she stopped and a bunch of firefighters stood in her way. That's what the cops, they ripped her out of her car. They cuffed her. She's been hit with multiple charges. Her lawyer is making an argument that she was told to park on the side street the night before because of the street fair. Like, you'd be fine parking over here.
Right.
You'd be able to get out. And so that's why she parked on that side street in the first place.
Okay, but you argue that later.
Okay.
Correct.
Yeah, take an alternate route. Be late to work.
How did she think this was going to end?
People rage out about these street fairs and parades. Like, the biggest road rage video out there is the guy in Portland who was freaking out that they were having a parade. He's like, they blocked off all the streets.
The lawyer said that she panicked, thinking that she'd be in trouble at work, so she wasn't thinking clearly. Also noted that she's a former honor student with no criminal history, and argued that a weekend in jail was punishment enough. But here's the thing: the judge didn't care, did not release her on bail, and so she's still in jail, and her trial is July 18th.
Oh, she could have killed the cop.
Yeah.
She was an honor student.
But she was an honor student.
She's smart, though.
I understand it is frustrating. I could see and sympathize with her plight trying to get to work.
But are you going to get to work faster when everyone's dead or you're in jail?
But I'm not going to go that route either.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
I mean, how did she think this was going to end?
She's going to be late for a while.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly. There was one day, and I was super frustrated, man. They were filming a TV show. You know that show? It's on Fox 911.
Oh, yeah.
And they had a whole production set up on my street because they were using one of the houses on my street for this episode. And there's cops set up at the end of the block around the corner. And I'm like, man, it was after work. It was just one of those days. I just wanted to get home and lay down, nap after waking up at 1 o'clock in the morning. And
so you hit the gas, right?
Yeah, I just plowed right through everybody.
I got to get home.
I send cards to their families every year,
that's
like on
nice.
Father's Day. Like, hey, sorry about your dad. Sorry for running your dad over.
I was really needed
tired.
that
But I just
nap.
really needed to get that nap in.
Yeah.
And it was super frustrating. I go, well, how long is this going to be? They go, can't tell you. Like, can't tell you. It's like,
can you take a guess?
this is my street. I said, what if I park over here? Can I then get out and walk through this area? Nope, sorry.
What?
That seems
They said
illegal.
it's a hot set.
Hot set.
I'm like, well, this is a hot mess because that's my house.
Right there.
Yeah.
I cannot get to my house. This is not an emergency.
That
No, but I'd
seems
like to go home.
not
And by
to
the
be
way,
overly dramatic, but that seems like, what is it? False kidnapping or what? What's
False
imprisonment.
False imprisonment?
yeah.
Because you're not asking to be held there.
Dude, you're never going to see me for the rest of the day. I'm going to go by you once, and then I'm at my house, and I won't emerge until 1:30 tomorrow morning.
They could have incorporated it into the script. Like,
Right.
Angry
Extra.
man walks by.
Yeah.
I did see
In
that
background.
episode. And this is the one I told you, like, when they did that production, they used one of my other neighbors' house, not the one they were using for the shoot.
Yeah.
They used the other neighbor's house, the next door neighbor, their garage as a production office
Nice.
for the producers and stuff. And they got $10,000 for one day.
That's
yeah, dude,
awesome.
you get
That's the
paid.
dream.
And it was a 2 day. So they got $20,000 for them to be able to use their garage.
That's what they did with the Brady Bunch house, HGTV. When they redid it, they used the neighbor's house garage for a production office. They got bank.
Yeah.
People
They're
have
lucky.
people have agents for their house, like to film,
Yeah.
like
okay.
for this reason.
Right.
So the guy who lives behind me, new neighbor now, but at the time, the guy who lived behind me, he had a deal for that show Baskets that was on FX with, what's his name? Louis Anderson.
Galifianakis and yeah.
Louis Anderson and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so that house was used as not just the exterior, but also the interior.
Oh.
So he double dipped.
Oh yeah.
I think he put his kids through college.
Nice.
Because there was a
And
couple
stays in the
seasons
hotel.
of that. That was the main house, I think, from the
Wow.
show. I never watched the show, but he's like, "Oh yeah, it was a great deal."
What was the house just recently? Like, they got upset and they didn't want to film in there anymore. Was it the Breaking Bad house or something like that.
Oh yeah, the Walter White's house.
Yeah, the kids of the old
Right.
lady that owned it said they're
Yeah,
done.
they moved on.
Yeah.
they got tired of all that.
Yeah, I'm like, no, dude.
Yeah,
Just-
and then the next street over from me, if you watch the show Weeds with like Mary
remember
Louise
that
Parker
show, yeah.
and
Yeah, I
whatever.
remember it.
So her house, like Nancy Botwin's house, like where she lived with her husband before he died, and that whole thing where they lived for a while. That house is on the flip side of where I am, and it's funny because every once in a while I didn't realize that show had so many fans.
oh yeah,
I liked
was on
it.
for a while.
I watched it and I thought it was cool, but like everyone, you'll see people like they're getting out and taking pictures in front of it. It's
Really?
like it's not that remarkable. It's not like I don't know. I geeked out when I saw the Back to the Future house, like the McFly house.
Yeah.
That I geeked out over.
The
I mean,
Lion
I didn't do the
Estates.
double thumbs up photo like Sammy did at at the JFK assassination spot.
It was a poor choice of hand gesture.
I mean, I wasn't
panicked.
that excited. I wasn't that excited.
Right. You weren't
But
that
even
thrilled.
so, there were people, pulling over. Here's the thing: with even in the time that I was standing outside of the Marty McFly house from Back to the Future, there were people pulling into the driveway, and that's nervy. And so I can
See,
see
that's
where if you,
weak.
I can see like yes, you have a famous house, but at the same time, can you not stay out of my driveway?
I know.
Yeah.
Can you not
That's
walk up to my
ridiculous.
front door
Yeah.
and like be standing on my front step?
Well,
But if you
that
know
would be-
if you know it when you buy it that you're buying a famous house, you might
true, but
think
the,
twice.
Yeah,
but
but
the problem
still.
with the Breaking Bad house is they were throwing pizzas on the roof.
Yeah,
that was
that's
one of
annoying.
the yeah.
That's annoying. Somebody said this guy in Laguna Beach that I worked at his house, it was used for the show Ballers, and he got $100,000 a day for 5 days. It's a multi-million-dollar house.
Whoa.
Rip.
Per day.
Dude.
You're
Per
leaving
day.
money on the table, Woody. Lots
Yeah.
filming in that area.
So Weeds had 8 seasons, 102 episodes.
Oh, okay. It was a good show.
Yeah.
The last 2 seasons, I think, were really weird. It kind of
Was Kathy Bates in that?
no.
Who am I thinking of?
Kathy Bates did have
It was-
a weed
no,
show,
it
but
was,
that
This is some other weed show,
n-
right?
Oh yeah. I know what you're talking about. I can't remember the name of the
Me
show.
neither.
Weeds was
Mary
Mary
Louise
Louise Parker,
Parker.
Kevin Nealon.
Yeah.
He was in that. Yeah, he was in that show. And there's a bunch of other like these character actors that you would recognize because they've been in a bunch of other stuff since then.
I gotta find it.
But it was cool. It was a cool show.
There was this one time back to the parade thing. I was, you know how I usually get to the airport about 3 hours early.
Uh-huh.
Time to drink and whatnot.
Sure.
I was running late for the only time in my life, and I left the hotel in a cab, and we got stuck behind one of those bike. It wasn't a parade. It was more like one of those
Like
a
cyclovia.
bike 5K
Yeah,
or whatever
oh, yeah.
with like elderly people, and it was the slowest damn thing. And come on, and they wouldn't let us just kind of squeeze in between. I was panicking.
So you only got to the airport like 2 hours and 15 minutes.
Yeah, I
early?
only had like a couple hours
What?
for drinks.
714. So how'd you eventually get back to your house when they were doing the production? Well, because I just waited around.
Like all night.
No, I it ended up being like 25 minutes, and I didn't see anything happening. I saw one take.
Not
Lame.
worth it.
Sitting there for 25 minutes.
Lame.
Like, dude, I would have been at my house seriously from where I was sitting waiting to go through to my driveway.
10 seconds.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Maybe
but can you
10
imagine
seconds.
the thrill of telling someone they can't go to their house? Like the power, like
Oh,
drunk
yeah.
with power.
Well, that's what Greg thinks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they were like in a county cop car,
Oh.
So here's a question for the county cops. Like for jobs like that, are these like the low men on the totem pole people? Like,
I always thought they were like retired cops.
yeah, like, if you're working for an electrician, the apprentice ends up doing a lot of the bitch work.
But I think this work sounds awesome. You're just sitting around all day eating craft services, telling people to go away.
Yeah. I guess.
I mean, that sounds pretty good.
Yeah, I guess. Hey, Greg, are you bringing up like what you're thinking about? Speaking of houses and stuff, are you bringing up what
Oh.
is it a public thing before you?
Sure. It's more
Okay.
of a question for you guys, though.
Ooh.
But
okay.
so I've always thought in the future, wouldn't it be so ruly to get my real estate license and delve into that? Because I'm addicted to that topic.
I'm
Yeah.
surprised you haven't done it already.
So that was my
Yeah.
question. Should I try to do it now?
Yeah,
Yes.
why not?
But do you want to do that work?
Kinda. I know
Because- okay,
it's incredibly hard.
And I bring it up because I love the show House Hunters, as Greg does.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But even when it's you and you're looking for houses, right?
I sure am.
Watching
Greg can
House
sell me
Hunters rules.
Yeah.
House hunting sucks.
Sucks.
It's the worst. And I'm thinking like
True.
dealing with other people because like you have to be like a total suck up to them because they're the customer and they're spending all this money and they're going to be very demanding. You're driving people around to a bunch of places who might
true.
not end up buying. My thought was for you, because of what you do here, you should try to find a way to take what you do here and talk to people who do it. Kind of almost like living vicariously through them. Like, so you're involved in
like
it.
a show.
Okay.
Yeah, but you like maybe you do something where you talk to realtors or you talk about people who are interested in getting involved in that kind of thing.
Oh.
And because you're a curious dude.
Yeah.
You know, like you're really good at like digging in and asking questions and
talk to them about the career.
Yeah, I'm thinking
about the nuts
I'm thinking
and
take what
bolts
you
of
do
it.
Are you
here.
talking about like a podcast or like a weekend show or something?
Not a weekend show, but just like maybe like a podcast or video thing or whatever, where you're like, maybe hey, so here, maybe you are just going and taking like your own version of a house hunter. Like, hey, here's a really cool house that I saw, and whatever, and you're kind of doing like a little tour of it.
Okay.
But here's why I think you'd be a great realtor.
Like Greg's pick.
Okay.
You know, Greg's List.
Greg's List.
You can rebrand it,
That's
Greg.
hilarious.
Yes, let's do that.
Greg's List.
Like commercial real estate and like that kind of stuff is like, who cares? But like you really have to connect with people buying a home, like emotionally, and you'd be really good at that. Like see your kitchen with your beautiful family
Now,
in the future.
the agent driving you around and showing you stuff, that doesn't really happen anymore, right?
I've never been offered a ride by
Yes,
a
it
real
does.
estate
Yes, it
I
does.
think, yeah,
Yeah.
it does.
Never been offered
I
a
think
ride.
that does with like big clients.
Yeah, I ain't in that tax bracket.
Yeah.
Well, there's two different things. If it's a one-off showing, they'll meet you there,
Right.
But if you set up like it's a Saturday
Where you
and
can
you're going to
look
go
at
look at 3 or 4 houses, they will say, "Hey, let's meet here for coffee," and then they'll give you a ride, and you'll go to the different places together, and then they'll drop you back off wherever you met up for coffee.
Right. It's whatever's more efficient for the day.
As opposed to taking 2 cars to
Right.
multiple
Right.
locations, and now you're waiting for them to get there, waiting for the other. Where'd you go? Oh, I got caught up in the light.
Yeah.
Well, you would love open houses because you love to entertain.
I would, but the thing I'm wrestling with is, you know how lazy I am too.
Right.
So,
Yeah,
So that's okay. So knowing you,
that's why this feedback is important.
yeah, and I just want to make it clear, I'm not discouraging you. I think if you really want to do it, I think you should totally do it. I'm thinking about how you are.
Weekends are for downtime and drinking.
Exactly right.
But don't you want your picture on a bench?
No.
Oh,
I'm thinking
What about a
about
shopping cart?
yeah. The penny saver.
I'm thinking about there was a way for that's why if Greg could do all the stuff he likes about it with all the other stuff that he has no interest in,
Right, paperwork.
that would be the best.
Why don't you and Mario
That'd be
team
the
up
best
and he can
idea.
do all the stuff you don't want to do.
That's a good idea.
Yeah,
That would be awesome.
Doesn't he
That's a
have
good
his
idea.
real estate license?
He does. And now he's focused on design, really.
Yeah, and you could just do all like the fun, like face forward stuff. And
What
you
does
could
it
do all
take
the-
to get a real estate license? I mean, because
study
from my
for a
understanding,
test, right?
my understanding is
I
it's
came
not difficult.
real close to getting it once. It involved 3 separate courses, like law and practice and something else I don't even remember. And it was very old-timey, and then you go take this state exam. And I stopped right before the state exam.
Okay, because
I
they
got
say
offered some jobs.
it's one of those things. They say the barrier to entry is very low,
Uh-huh.
so that's why there's so many people that end up going that route, and why there's so many people in that arena.
Yeah.
Right. There's a lot of agents out there. With my luck, I would fail the exam.
Yeah. So
I'd be so nervous.
I guess my point on that is like, all right, so you're not out a bunch of time, like having to do a ton of studying just to
Right.
like not pass.
Yeah, it's
or,
not like you didn't pass the bar.
right.
like-
And then the
for
deterrent, of
for
course,
law.
is you have to pay for the access to MLS. You have to pay for this.
Right.
You have to get insurance for that. And so
I'll go halvesies on that with you, though.
you're out of pocket a ton of money.
Yeah. So like, in other words, like the Greg's List thing could be where, no, but like where like there's a bunch of listings. You're always looking at these different things and you go, dude, this is a dope house. Kind of like a guy who goes around to different whatever restaurants and he's trying all the cheesesteaks in town.
Yeah.
Right. And he's giving you, dude, this place. And
I
they
see
kind
what
of give you
you're
like a hey, I saw this place, seemed too good to be true, wanted to see if it was real. Here we are. We're on whatever street in whatever town. And this is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath,
Well, I wonder.
2,000 square feet. But check it out. Here's the hidden gem of this house.
Yeah.
Right.
It's got a wine cellar. Craigslist. Craigslist.
Yeah, kind of
Roll
piggybacking
credits.
off that. I wonder if, like, you can't hook up with an agent and be like, hey, I'm going to show off these houses for you.
Uh-huh.
And if you end up selling one, can I get a cut of that?
Oh, yeah. See,
It'd be fun.
like if it's a lead that comes from one of my Craigslist videos.
Yeah.
Right, because I just always envisioned the future as I'd be one of those cliches, like used to do radio, now I do real estate, But it sounds alluring to me.
All right. So bottom line on this house,
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So check it out if you have any more.
I'll give you 5 yes.
Yeah.
5 yeah.
Give it a yeah.
All right. 877-44-WOODY. Text us 22987. We'll be right back.
The Woody Show. Be back in a bit.